What's up, everybody? We're live here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. So if you're joining us here, welcome to our second live stream for the month of November. So yes, indeed, we're doing actually two for this month. I already see quite a few people here on Facebook as well as on YouTube joining us. So before we kind of dive right in and answer some questions, wanted to make sure that everything is working okay. So just give it a quick thumbs up on this video in the comment section below if you're joining us from Facebook, also on YouTube as well. If you're joining us from YouTube, just give a quick thumbs up or a quick comment in the comment section just to let me know that everything that you see is working fine, that you can hear and see me okay. And then if you're joining us from Instagram, I will be checking on my phone for any questions there as well. We're live on Instagram. Just wanted to make sure that we're indeed live. Yes, we are. Okay. Got about 27 people on Instagram as well. So overall, quite a few joining from Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Got probably about close to 100 people in here. All right, great. So we do have quite a few things to cover, and wanted to first make sure that are we live on YouTube? Should be, but I'm still seeing the video. Okay, maybe just my screen. Okay. Yeah, if you're joining us from YouTube, make sure to give a quick thumbs up or to let me know if it's working okay, just so we can get everything sorted out. I see here on Facebook everything seems to be good. Some people joining from New Hampshire, from New Mexico. Thumbs up, good. And then on Instagram, a couple of people said no sound. Is the sound okay now? Okay. Let me know on Instagram if there's sound now. Just want to get these little bit of these technical details worked out before we jump in. All right, so yeah, seems like on YouTube is good, on Facebook is good. Just trying to get Instagram sorted out. Yeah, on Instagram I don't think we can hear. I'm not hearing anything coming from Instagram. All right, try now. Oh, yeah. Oh, we were plugged in on something. Let me see now. Are you able to hear me now on Instagram? No, still a little bit of issue on Instagram. On Facebook, everything's okay. So it just might be the we're gonna try to go live on a different phone on Instagram. Yeah, give us 1 second. We're gonna try to go live on a different phone on Instagram. Try to figure that out. On Facebook and YouTube should be fine. Okay, so we're probably gonna end. We have to end the stream, right? Okay, we're gonna end the stream on Instagram shortly, and then we'll go live on a different phone on Instagram. Everything on Facebook and YouTube should be okay. Okay. All right, let's launch on Instagram again. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now it's good. All right. Now you should be able to hear me from Instagram. Let's see if yes, loud and clear now. Good. Well, I can hear on my phone, so I assume that you're able to hear. But do let me know if there's any issues. But on Instagram should be fixed now. On Facebook we're good. On YouTube we're good. All right. Awesome. Great. Okay. Glad we got that figured out. So. Very good. Okay, so let's kind of get started. I already see quite a few people in here joining us. We do have a couple of announcements, as we always do, to make, and then we'll kind of jump into any questions that you guys might have. And it's okay if we go over a little bit of time to kind of make up some of the time for the technical difficulties that we had. But if you're joining us for the first time, or if you're joining us on our live stream for the very first time, What we typically do is probably spend about an hour here to kind of answer any questions you guys might have about the apparel decoration industry, or in particular to your business, whether you're just getting started or you're looking to scale your business, any kind of issues you're running along the way, or any roadblocks that you have, and try to kind of work together on this live stream, try to answer those, and hopefully point you in the right direction, even if it's not something that is a full-blown answer. At least it will kind of get your wheels turning, and hopefully guide you in the right direction to then go ahead and implement. And if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to ask those as well. But we got our team in here in the chat section, especially on actually all three platforms, on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, answering questions as well. So if I don't get to one of your questions, feel free to ask again, or one of our team members will actually kind of answer some of those questions for you as well. So and at the same time, what we're also going to do is put up some of the questions that other people are asking, so that put them up on the screen so other people can follow along, and hopefully maybe you have the same question or something that's similar, and hopefully you can kind of get some value from that as well. So but before we kind of jump into those questions, I kind of have a couple of announcements to make. First and foremost, we do have a giveaway at the end of this live stream. So for this giveaway, it's going to be the all-in-one hooper. So for those of you that are into embroidery, this will be super helpful to kind of hoop your garments on a consistent basis. You don't need any specialty hoops to work with the all-in-one hooper. That's why it's called the all-in-one hooper, because it can actually work with the hoops that come with your machine, and different because it has different pegs that you can place on the placement board, and help you with kind of the hooping process on any like polos or anything that you hoop on a repeat basis, so you can hoop it on a consistent level every single time. So that one is over $850 in value, thanks to our sponsor there at All-in-One Hooper at Tex Inc. And they're going to one lucky winner is going to get this all-in-one hooper get shipped out to them, and hopefully you put it to good use. So we'll kind of announce the winner at the end of this live stream. It could be someone from Facebook, from YouTube, or from Instagram, and then we'll kind of get in touch with you and get your information and ship that out to you. So that's kind of the giveaway that we're having on this live stream. We typically do have one on every single live stream, so it definitely helps to join and be a part of the giveaway just for that, if you're coming here to get some value. But in addition, probably the bigger thing is to really kind of gain some knowledge and understanding of your business or what you're struggling with, and hopefully be able to kind of get your business to the next level. Because I think growing your business is going to be worth a lot more than the prize of a giveaway. All right, so that's the first announcement. The second announcement is really revolving around our Black November sale. For those of you that have been following us or have heard about our Black November sale, we've been kind of doing that for the entire month of November, starting from November 1st and all the way till now, and we've been doing that in several phases. So we broke it down into 3 different phases, where the earlier you get into the Black November sale, the better discounts you get and the better deals you get. And so we've just completed phase 2 of our Black November sale yesterday on Monday, and now we're entering phase 3, which is the last phase of the Black November sale. So this is really the last chance for you to get in on a good deal on any of our machines, whether it's embroidery machines that you see on the screen there, our DTG printers, or our white toner transfer printer packages. Now for the embroidery machines, they start as low as $130 per month, with 0% financing, a variety of machines for you to choose from depending on your budget and your needs. Do speak with one of our product specialists if you want to learn more about that. You also get free shipping on those, and make sure you get in on this last phase, because if you already missed the first 2 phases, this is it's better late than never, right? So you're better off getting in now and still get some savings, even though it might not have been kind of as big of a saving as if you had gotten in earlier in the beginning of the month, but at least you're still getting free shipping and very low monthly payments for your machines. So definitely do consider that. For the DTG printers, it's also entering the last phase of the promotion. You do get free shipping on those as well, and I believe payments as low as what is it, $235 per month on the DTG printers. And then for the white toner transfer printers, if you're into kind of heat transfer and wanting to print full color designs, you do get white toner transfer packages with us as well with the Luminaris 200, and you can get started with those, I believe, as low as $76 per month. So quite a good deal on that as well, and you get free shipping with those as well. Free shipping on all of our products for the Black November sale. But for the white toner transfer printer in particular, the original price was $95 per month, and for this last phase, you can get in at $76 per month on the 0% financing for these white toner transfer printers before they go back up to $95. All right, so I hope that helps. For those of you that are interested, we've pinned the link in the description below on our different platforms, and make sure to click it and speak with a sales rep. They'll help understand kind of what your needs are to guide you to the right machine and kind of walk you through some of those financing options, so we can kind of get you locked into the last phase of this promo. All right, so that's kind of the second announcement there. And then the last announcement that we have is we do have a flash sale going on for add-ons and accessories and also software. So we do have a flash sale. We also did this last time that we did this live stream in the beginning of the month. So this is the second time this month we're doing a flash sale. It will only last for 24 hours. So last time a lot of people missed out and they didn't know, and they were asking when it's going to come back. Well, this is your second and final chance to get in on this flash sale that we have going on the shop.ricoma.com is where you can find all of the accessories for either your embroidery machines, for your printing supplies, and all of those things. If you use the code RIC10, you get 10% off any heat presses, vinyl cutters, and sewing machines. And if you use the code RIC20, you get 20% off Ricoma upgrades and embroidery accessories. For example, if you're looking to upgrade Ricoma to the next level, Ricoma being our premier digitizing software for embroidery, if you're looking to upgrade, you can use the code RIC20 to get 20% off of Ricoma, and any embroidery accessories such as like the belt hoop, the 8-in-1 device, things like that we manufacture here at Ricoma. You can get 20% off of those as well using the code RIC20. All right, it only goes on for 24 hours. It will end at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so make sure to get in on that if you missed it the last time around, or if you're just finding out about this the first time around and you're thinking about upgrading on some of these software or getting different accessories and other equipment to add on to your business, whether it be a heat press or a sewing machine or a vinyl cutter. Make sure you take advantage of those promo codes down below on the screen, and get those on the shop as soon as possible. All right, they will expire. The code is set to automatically expire by 2 p.m. tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow before the holidays. All right, so make sure you get in on that before the codes expire. All right, with all that being said, those are kind of the announcements. I wanted to get that out of the way. I'll kind of go through some of the questions now on Facebook, and I'll kind of jump over to YouTube and on Instagram as well to see what kind of questions you guys might have, and hopefully I can provide some value to you guys and answer some of those questions. Okay, so feel free to type down some of the questions if you haven't done so already. Let's see. Yeah, D Kaysen says, yes, you have great deals this month. Yep, already hundreds of people have already placed their orders. I believe just with embroidery machines alone, probably over 500 people have already kind of gotten the deals. So and then that's on top of DTG and white toner. Probably definitely close to 1,000 people have already locked in their deals for Black November. Again, this is the last phase, so it's now or never. You're still getting quite a good deal with low monthly payments and free shipping, which can save you upwards of $800-900 alone. And if you're buying a multi-head, upwards of like $1,500. So this will be the last chance to get the free shipping there. Okay. All right. So San Rice says I need a six head ASAP. Yeah. Get in touch with our team. I'm pretty sure we still have a couple of them left. Might be the wide versions, but um, get in touch with our team and see what stock we have available. Jeremy Severia Senior says, "Have my class tomorrow, brand new. Lots of research done already. Wish me luck." Great. Well, I definitely wish you good luck, and can't wait to see some of the products and things that you can do with your machine. Okay. D. Kaysen, can't wait to buy a DTG printer. Janet says, I am getting my EM1010 today. Awesome. Okay. Brian Welshin says, I just got my 1010 yesterday, getting everything together now. Seems like, yeah, we've been shipping out a lot of machines, especially we're trying to push everything forward before the holidays because I know that, some of you might have already gotten emails or notifications from us that we do expect delays heading into the end of this week because for a fact, the major carriers like UPS, FedEx, and some of the freight carriers like RNL and different forwarding companies, they're not taking any loads starting on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend, they're not doing any pickups, and they'll probably resume starting next week. But there's probably going to be a little bit of a backlog with everyone kind of shipping stuff over the holidays. So do expect some delays, and we're trying to get everything pushed out before then. So that's why probably a lot of you are getting your machines now right before the holidays. So those of you that have placed your orders kind of towards the beginning of the month. Okay. Yeah, I saw someone that mentioned. I think Whit Gray says, if you haven't received your equipment, it could be on one of the models that could be on back order, or it's coming, or there's it's being prepped, or whatever the case is. Speak with your account coordinator. You should have been introduced to your account coordinator. Check your email. Every machine order that gets placed, you get introduced to a dedicated account coordinator that handles your account going forward, and so they will know the status of your machine and where it's at. All right, I haven't seen too many questions. A lot of people just very excited about getting their machine. So, but feel free to type in any questions you guys might have. Okay. D. Kaysen says, yeah, you need an 8-in-1 device. Wanted to give my sales rep Damien a call. Yeah, so Damien is actually no longer with us here, but the 8-in-1 device you can just order online at the shop.ricoma.com and use the promo code RIC20 to get 20% off. 24 hours only. Yeah, Travis Thurston, your question, if you want to, I don't think that question pertains to a lot of people, but I get your question about needing a firmware update and why you think why I think that there's no need for a firmware update on certain control panels. I kind of already explained that in my previous message to you that certain firmware doesn't it's not compatible with older versions of the hardware. The firmware needs to be compatible with the hardware. But if you want to take that offline and message me directly, I'd be happy to even jump on a call with you to explain what that means and why that's the case. All right, Don Bradley says, what's the difference between the Chroma and Wilcom digitizing software? There are some things I like to do with my Chroma Lux that I've seen done with Wilcom. I'm not sure if I've explored my Chroma enough. I ended up outsourcing digitizing so I could keep up with my orders. Okay, great question. Now, the biggest difference is, before I kind of jump into those, I would like to kind of also understand what are some things that you'd like to do with Chroma Lux that you've seen being done with Wilcom that you can't do with Chroma Lux, because from my understanding with Chroma Lux, pretty much can do everything that Wilcom does plus more, and the user friendliness of it and the fact that it's Mac compatible are some of the key differences. that we've seen, people don't have to buy. Wacom is only compatible with PC, so people will have to either run parallel on their Mac or whatever the case is. And a lot of people that do digitizing or designs in general, they use Mac, the Mac operating system. So then it's much more convenient when they have Chroma that can be natively compatible with Mac. But if you kind of have any particular kind of thing that you're looking to do, that you feel like you can't do on Chroma Lux, make sure to comment below, and we can shoot that over to Willie, who's our digitizing expert here, and he does a lot of tutorials on YouTube on digitizing. He probably kind of can show you how to or where to find that function in Chroma Lux, because I really don't think there's anything that Wilcom can do that that Chroma can't, especially when you're at the Chroma Lux level, which is the highest tier. Now, if you're at a lower level, like in Chroma Inspire or whatever the case is, or Chroma Plus, there might be certain limitations. But I think with a full-blown Chroma Lux kind of professional design software at the highest tier, I do believe that there's going to be a lot of features that maybe you haven't found it yet, or you don't know how to do. Okay. All right, let me jump over to YouTube to see if there's any particular questions from YouTube here. All right. Yeah, on YouTube, someone asked Black Friday sale for DTG. Yep, we have that as well. So Michelle Johnson asked Black Friday sale for DTG. That's $235 per month plus 0% with the 0% financing, as well as free shipping. Larry Johnson asked, what does my credit need to look like? I mean, you do need to have good credit to get the 0% financing. However, we also have other options for lower credit scores, as well as for business credit. So if your personal credit might not be as good, but you have an established business, you can also run it through your business credit. So our product specialist can walk you through all the options, but we have like 2-3 options to kind of get you qualified. All right. Michael Lim asked, do you ship to Texas? Yes, we absolutely do. Texas is actually one of the major states that we sell a lot of machines to, so definitely ship to Texas. Michael Cecil asked, just ordered my second machine. Would I notice a big difference with the 8S display? So not a huge difference, but there's some upgrades with the 8S. Obviously, the screen is bigger, but also you have some more features like Wi-Fi, being able to connect via Wi-Fi on your 8S panel. Michelle Johnson says, yeah, rep called me because I want a DTG printer, asked him to call me back because I was at work. Sales must be good. I haven't received the call back. Yeah, we're probably overwhelmed with the number of inquiries that have come in. So, but our team, do make a note with Michelle Johnson and get that over to whoever the rep is, and we can make sure to give you a call back as soon as possible. All right, Anthony Gotti asked, can you address some of the customer service concerns and the lack of responses and lengthy wait times from the dedicated account reps? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're well aware that there might be a labor shortage going on, but that's the first and foremost thing that comes up. There, with the number of inquiries and the number of customers that we serve, there are going to be times where it is going to be a little bit difficult to get back to everyone in a timely manner. But it is something that we're working on, and obviously, I think many companies are dealing with a similar issue. I'm sure in your business, if you hire people or you have a team, that it's a similar thing that everyone is experiencing. That being said, I do believe that even with that being the case, I do think that we're probably doing a much better job than everyone else, whether it's in this industry or kind of overall in general, just in any business, because of the systems that we have put in place and the level of dedication that we have to making sure that our customers are taken care of. That being said, I don't think anybody is perfect. We recognize the challenges, and I think some of it is market concerns with labor shortage, as I'm pretty sure everyone is well aware of in the news. And other things are things that we're obviously trying to address with processes or even technology to help put some systems in place to help get faster responses. I think one of the recent things that we've done is I don't know if probably most people don't know, but some people have already been kind of seeing it in some of the responses that our team gives is the answer bots. So we actually implemented an answer bot to our ticketing system, where when you type in a question, it looks for keywords that we've tagged and flagged in the system, and then bring up knowledge articles, essentially very commonly asked questions and answers to those questions in knowledge articles that you can essentially self-serve, right? Instead of waiting on the phone for someone for a simple question, maybe changing the parameters of my hoop, or hey, I'm getting like a no needle error. These kind of common things. There's some simple troubleshooting steps that you should probably look at first. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's other things that you can look at first. And we've implemented that recently in the last couple of weeks actually, and people have a lot of people have been engaging with those articles because they find them helpful, and you can give feedback as to whether you find this article helpful or not. And we're constantly trying to update newer articles. I believe we already have over 60 articles in the system addressing these common questions across all of our product lines, and that's only going to get more refined and more built out over time. And I think that can alleviate some of the short-term pressure on getting responses faster. If you have an answer bot that can look at keywords and give you guide you in the right direction, maybe that article will fix those issues, 20-30% of the issues, and help you get back up to speed much faster. So do take advantage of some of those resources that we have, and whether it's with technology or processes, we're always looking for ways to address this concern. Something that we're very much well aware of, as I'm sure everyone else is in other businesses. But part of it is due to a huge part of it is due to the labor shortage and hard to find good people. And on the flip side is how do we look at technology and other tools to help kind of take the place of some of these backlogs and hopefully kind of drive some of those volumes down, and still get you guys the help and the resources that you need at a faster pace. All right, so I hope that helps answer that. N. Kim says, I bought an MT-1501 earlier this month, and is said that it can be delivered in December. Why does it take so long to deliver? So very similar question, very similar answer that I'm going to give to this type of question, which is if you kind of follow the news and see what's going on, I think there's a global supply chain issue that everyone is dealing with. I think that's not news to most people. And so it takes that long because there's supply chain bottlenecks. There are machines being stuck at the ports. There are machines that are still on the water being transported here. And when they are here, they need to go through a prepping process to make sure that they go through quality control and then get them to you in tip-top shape. So it goes through a process. And when one part of that process kind of gets jammed or backlogged, such as when the container is supposed to arrive on the first of the month, but because of labor shortage at the port, it's being stuck at the port for 2 weeks. Well, that kind of just pushes everything back, right? So kind of one chain is dependent on another, and when kind of one of the chains breaks, it has a domino effect on the rest of the supply chain. I mean, that's why it's called a supply chain. There's many different moving parts to the whole process. And so again, even though everyone's kind of facing the same thing, I do believe that we've already done quite a bit of work in making sure that this time frame doesn't get out of hand, and that I do believe actually that part of the reason why we're getting so many increase of people wanting to get a machine is because I believe we've pretty much solved the supply chain issue, or at least mitigated the supply chain issue from our standpoint, because we not only have our headquarters here in Miami, but we also have a warehouse and fulfillment center, and also an office in California. So we're able to ship from both sides of the U.S. and gives us more flexibility, and also get containers faster to California versus to here in Florida. It just gives us more options, so we can ship more stuff, and as long as we have the capacity to manufacture more things, we can ship them over here, and it doesn't matter where they go, as long as they can get on shore. It's we'll kind of figure it out from there on. And I think not many businesses can have the luxury of saying that they can have multiple locations where they can receive stock, and therefore get them out to customers as soon as possible. So the fact that if you order your MT earlier this month and it says it can be delivered in December, I would say that is a pretty good time frame to consider. Taking into account everything else that's been going on in the world with supply chain issues, waiting about a 4-week period is, I think, significantly less than what you'll find at some other companies, because probably now you're ordering some stuff now, probably won't get delivered till 2022. So and that's going to be 1 to 2 months of wait at least, and that's what we've been seeing widely across the board. But we've done a much better job in mitigating that, because of our the fact that we have 2 separate locations, and the fact that we're really focusing on making sure that supply chain is taken care of. BRNSDC says, do you guys offer one-on-one training for Chroma Lux digitizing? So we don't offer one-on-one training, but we do have classes every single week, and we also have tutorial videos. So if you're more of a self-learner, you can watch the videos. If you're more of a hands-on person, do feel free to join our classes. You can sign up for them in your customer portal, and we do have them every single week, so that we can teach those in a webinar format to people that want to join. Michelle Johnson asks, what's the difference between the 2 DTG machines? So the RI1000 and the RI2000, the major difference is the RI2000 has two separate sets of ink and 2 separate carriage systems to be able to print faster. So one set of carriage is for white ink only, and the other one is for color. Versus the RI1000, you only have 1 carriage system, so that it prints the colors. It prints the white first, and then it goes back and it prints the color. So it's actually 2 separate runs. For a 2 carriage system on the RI2000, you essentially cut the time in half, because as you're laying down the white, and the first carriage is moving over, your second carriage of the colors is already going over the entire thing to put on the colors. So it's much more conducive for printing on dark garments, so that you can print much faster, because you have that dual carriage system, and the extra set of white inks, so that you're printing white and color simultaneously and not one after the other. So that's the major difference there. And there's also some maintenance upgrades on the RI2000 where it's less maintenance intensive, and you can have tools and jigs that can help you maintain the machine much easier. That's something that can also be considered on the RI2000. Okay, I think those are some questions on YouTube. Let me jump over to Instagram, see if we have any questions there. Glamour Garden on Instagram says, do you recommend anything I can watch to prepare myself for once my machine arrives? Yes, definitely go through your pre-training on your customer portal. That has a lot of videos to get your machine set up. Now, if you don't have your machine, you can do less of the setup part, but you can get the fundamentals on like what a bobbin is and how to wind a bobbin, or what kind of backings, what kind of needles are being used. So you kind of get familiar with the terminology and the different parts of the machine, so that when you do get it, you know exactly where everything is, and then you can set it up properly. That's something that I would recommend. And then also make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch the videos there. There's a ton of videos on different topics. Just to get yourself educated and familiar with the space, right? Like what the different terms are, what the needle sizes are, thread weights, and things like that. There's a lot of resources on our YouTube channel on embroidery kind of 101, and how to hoop properly, what are the different type of threads, all those things I think you should learn on top of your pre-training content that we already have provided for you in your customer portal. Mahmoud says, "What's the cost of shipping to the Middle East?" So you'll have to get in touch with our team. Go to Ricoma.com and then fill out the contact us form. For the Middle East, it is handled by our team overseas in Asia. So they will be the ones to contact you and kind of get what your needs are, and then ship out the machine to you. There also might be authorized dealers in your location or in your region in the Middle East. So our team would know, our overseas team will know more of that situation and how to get you in touch with the right dealer to get you the right machine. Okay, not so many other questions on Instagram. Okay, let me jump over to Facebook. Renee Johnson says, just starting out and wondering what is the best software to track orders, inventory, and such. Probably just start out with QuickBooks. That's you get accounting software in there as well, and with certain levels of QuickBooks, you also get inventory as well as obviously shipping and fulfillment. So QuickBooks will be the most easy way to go, and the cost-effective way. Daryl Williams says, "Why are so many of your YouTube training video link not working?" Don't know which ones you're referring to, but happy to look into that if you have any specifics. Okay. John Dean says, "What laptop would work well with the MT1501?" I mean, any laptop really. If you have a PC, you can use that. If you have a Mac, you can use that. It doesn't need to work with the machine. The machine works on a standalone basis. Your laptop is mainly for your digitizing or anything that you need to do on your laptop. The machine's control panel is operational completely separately from what computer you have. Marcella Serpa says, "How do I know when it's time to invest in a new machine?" So great question there, and I think I will answer this in two separate ways. So one is the fact that you will invest in a new machine to kind of add on and scale to your existing production because you're not able to keep up with the level of orders that are coming in. The other part is actually adding on a different type of equipment to expand the breadth of what you're able to offer in terms of services to your customers. So what I mean by that, on the first point, right, when is it time to add on a new machine of the same type? It's really when you are not able to keep up with the level of orders that are coming in. And I mean, I've heard people, let's take embroidery as a prime example. People that with just a single head machine are staying up late at night and wanting a quick turnaround time for their customers, but an order of 24 pieces, they're staying up till 2 3 a.m. in the morning to fulfill on a single head machine, and you multiply that by the different orders that you're getting in, it can easily get very overwhelming with just one machine. That's when you kind of know that if you're spending more time kind of in production and less time actually kind of drumming up business and kind of obtaining new orders, there's probably a balance that you need to strike there, where the less time being spent in production is probably more conducive for your business to scale in the long run, right? If you're tied up in production because of the limitations of your equipment, it's probably time to scale to a different machine or another machine to add on to your existing to your existing line, so that you can manufacture and produce those garments and fulfill those orders much quicker for your customers, so that you don't keep them waiting and you're not burning yourself out by staying up late and just kind of always in production mode when you're not kind of out there gaining new business. So that's the first part of when it will take, when it's a sign to get a new machine or another machine. The other sign is not so much of getting a new machine or adding on to your existing product line, but more so to expand your business. And that's also another indication, and that's really feedback from your customers. If your customer is coming to you and as example, going back to embroidery, if you're already doing embroidery now, but you find customers over and over again are coming to you asking you for printed shirts or printed polos or whatever the case is, right? If you are having those types of demand, but you don't have the capabilities of fulfilling them, you have to turn those orders away or outsource them. There comes a point in time where the frequency of those types of requests get to a certain level where it's not worth it, or it's very kind of not optimal to turn those orders away and outsource them to someone else, where you just make a small margin. At that point, it probably benefits you to kind of actually bring that in house and do that on your own, right? Bring in the DTG machine on your own and start printing shirts, right? And so that really depends on the level of feedback your customers are giving you in terms of what their needs are and kind of what type of clients you're actually serving, what industries they're in, what their needs are, what type of garments they need, what type of apparel decoration method they're actually looking for. And through that feedback, if you're getting enough of those requests, you might want to look into whether the numbers make sense to invest in that machine, and then therefore be able to offer that additional service to your customers. I think those two are the main indications and signs that I've seen of people looking to add on to their their existing line of products, to scale their production because they're staying up late at night, or to scale their production kind of horizontally to offer different types of services to their customers. And that way you can become really the one-stop shop for your clients. And even if only a couple of clients are asking for a particular product, if they're asking for sublimation or DTG, and you're adding that on, now you are not only catering to those sets of customers that are asking for that, but now that you've invested in a new machine that can expand your breadth of services, you can now kind of market those services to your existing clients as well that might not have known that you actually do DTG or sublimation or something else outside of embroidery, right? Or vice versa. So it really kind of depends on when that time arrives for you to make that leap and make that jump, depending on kind of what your circumstances are, what your budget is, and what the demand from your customers are. But I think expanding your breadth is key to make sure you have a kind of one-stop shopping experience for your customers, and obviously expanding your production and capacity in the same product line is also important to make sure that you have good customer service, good turnaround time, and maintain your sanity as a business owner, so you're not always in production mode. All right, so I hope that helps. Donald Newman says, from ordering my machine to delivery today, turnaround was very fast for me. Right. So I mean, like I said, fast is kind of relative, right? Like if you just have the right expectation that there's a global supply chain issue and it's gonna take longer and there's gonna have some delays, then you can reasonably expect that it's gonna take some time. But if you already have that expectation, you might see that 3-4 weeks is not that long at all in the grand scheme of things and what we're able to accomplish. Angelica Romero says, "How often does Hoopmade update their design?" So I don't know actually the frequency in which we update it. We try to kind of update them in batches at a time. So when we typically do them, probably at least 50 to 100, and we kind of try to maintain a consistent basis. We also take requests for kind of what kind of designs you guys are looking for to help kind of populate some of those into the system, and get our designers working on those as well. So but that's something that we can definitely look into and kind of perhaps update more frequently. But it will also be helpful to understand from your perspective what kind of designs you're looking for, so that we can kind of tailor some requests if they're very frequent. George Thomas asked a question about the RI1000 setup. I would definitely go through your training, George, because with DTG there's a very specific setup process, and we don't want you to mess it up and then therefore like clog any lines or damage the machine, and therefore potentially void your warranty with Rico. So I definitely recommend getting through the training first. Definitely sign up for your training, and don't just rely on kind of your previous knowledge or what you think is the case. Do go through the step-by-step process with our training team to get your DTG set up properly. Evelyn Primus says, "Can I do beginning designs with a one needle machine to start?" Of course. I mean, there are many people that start out with a one needle machine. You don't need to start out with a multi needle machine if you don't have the budget for it or you're just getting started. The one needle machine can definitely do the trick. I actually have a comparison video on YouTube comparing single needle and multi needle machines and the pros and cons of each. So do check that out. Obviously, single needles are much cheaper to get started with, much more affordable as a cost of entry. But you're going to be limited to the embroidery area, as well as the kind of colorful how colorful of a design you can actually do. Alan Wade from AW says, "Henry, we gotta get you a Ricoma Boss embroidery shirt to wear in the live streams." Thanks, Alan. Maybe you can embroider that for me. After all, you have two EM1010s and the MT1501, and now also the Rico RI1000. Maybe as part of your, I did see your 100 shirts in 100 days challenge. Maybe we can start a trend there with we can do something similar, and you can print a nice shirt for me. Linda Russell. I don't know if Linda Russell's question is directed towards me about what are you cooking for Thanksgiving. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of turkey because I think it's so dry. So I haven't really figured out like what I'm gonna make for Thanksgiving. Maybe a nice steak or something. I don't know, but not a big fan of turkey. I think the last time I had turkey for Thanksgiving was probably like over a decade ago. So, but I hope that you guys are spending time with family and friends for Thanksgiving. I know that it's time to kind of wind down a bit, and even in the midst of things and taking care of our customers and being very busy with all the inquiries and obviously the supply chain issues, trying to get everything out on time. I think our team does deserve a little bit of a break, and spending time with their family, with their friends, and just kind of winding down a bit before it kind of heads into the end of the year rush, before we kind of welcome 2022. So it's already kind of getting very close to the end of the year. I know that this year really passed by like a breeze, and it's hard to believe that we're in the last month of the year already. So but I think looking back, we've accomplished quite a lot, even amidst all these challenges, and we'll continue to kind of fight through some of those challenges that I mentioned. But it is without challenges, I think any business is not able to grow, right? Like any business you run, whether it's in the embroidery space or in custom apparel or outside of that, every business is going to have its challenges. But I think it's those challenges that's really rewarding and kind of interesting to tackle. I mean, if you're not having challenges, your business is probably stagnant, and something much deeper is wrong than having challenges and having problems to solve. I think one thing I also always mention to all our staff here is, regardless of what your title is and what your role is here, everyone here is at the end of the day a problem solver. And if you put that perspective in mind, we're all here to solve problems, whether it's supply chain, whether it's customer service, whether it's sales. It doesn't really matter what you do. In an organization, if you look at yourself as a problem solver, you kind of put your headspace in the right place, and to have a positive attitude towards tackling those problems. If you kind of see yourself as a problem solver, and we try to look for those that are kind of engaged in problem solving and have a knack for problem solving, regardless of what they do. I think the ability to solve problems goes beyond kind of what your skill set and experience is. It's really an attitude that people have, of wanting to kind of see this work, wanting to find a solution, and people that are able to find ways to solve problems. Those are the ones that are going to grow long term with any company, and so I kind of went on like a tangent and a rant there, but I think it's all to say that there's going to be challenges. We have already seen a lot in 2021. Probably we'll see even newer challenges in 2022 that we can't even think of right now as to like what they'll be, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. But it's always a challenge in business, and even as applies to your guys' like small businesses, when you're just a one-man shop, or you're just starting out in your garage, to whether you have 10 people working 2-3 different shifts, and you have a retail space and a commercial space. It doesn't matter what end of the spectrum you're at, you're gonna have challenges. Without challenges, there's no opportunity. That's how I see it. Like there has to be a problem, there has to be a challenge for you to have an opportunity, and it's you capture that opportunity when you're able to successfully solve that problem. So that's kind of more of a motivational thing I hope you guys keep in mind for any business, whether you're big or small. Madeline Champ says, when the 1501 comes to us, are all the needles the same? If not, which ones are different? No, they're all the same. They're the standard 75 by 11 needles. Casey Diaz says, how long is the shipping? Sorry, I missed the beginning. Yeah, so shipping, depending on your particular machine or what you order, anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, is the conservative estimate. It could be sooner. Like for DTG, as an example, it could be faster. We've done it as soon as like 4 to 5 days. For other machines, it might take a bit longer, either because there's no inventory in stock and it's at the port, or it's being shipped to us currently from overseas, or it's currently in the prep line to make sure that it's ready to go for you. Ron, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but Ron Brukwalski, as a beginner, is there any type of embroidery jobs that you'd recommend to stay away from until you get more proficient, or is it better to jump in right into it? So great question there. I think that there's nothing that you should stay away from, but there's obviously different items and different things that are more challenging to do, right? As a very simple example, hats are probably more challenging to do than flat items like a polo shirt or a t-shirt, right? So that's not to say that people haven't jumped into hats. I mean, I think as an example, Alan Wade that I've seen on YouTube, he jumped into hats within the first couple of weeks of getting his machine, right? And so it's just a matter of how, I mean, it also depends on your tolerance level of kind of like how hands-on you are, how quick of a learner you are. There's nothing that you can't do if you put your mind to it. There's certain things that's going to be more challenging. Now, if you ask me, okay, I don't want to take on this order because I'm afraid to mess it up, I think that's a good idea to not kind of overstretch yourself on something that you don't know and you're not proficient at or not confident in. and therefore might potentially lose a customer because you've done a bad job or you can't do it or whatever the case is. I think you want to stay away from doing that, but at the same time, you don't want to stay away in terms of like trying it out, even just on your own and practicing so that you can get good at it. Because if you don't do it, then you're never going to learn it. And if you never learn it, you're never going to take on that type of order, and you're never going to expand your revenue and your kind of spectrum of the type of orders that you take on. So all that to come back and say, you shouldn't be afraid to try different things. But if you're kind of like being put to the test on an actual order, I would say to stick with things that are you're more comfortable with in the beginning. But knowing that if you only stay in your comfort zone, you're never going to grow out of that. You're never going to learn. You're never going to expand your business. But during your free time, or when you're kind of working on your own or trying things out, do test on other things and watch tutorials or learn stuff that can help you expand into a different vertical and expand into a different product line. And never shy away from doing those. But in embroidery jobs, you probably don't want to mess that up on the first go and then kind of lose the confidence of the customer. So you kind of want to balance that. But at the same time, you want to kind of climb your learning curve privately, kind of in your own free time, climb the learning curve as quickly as possible, so you can go back to that customer that you did a good job for and say, hey, now I can also do hats. Would you like 1 dozen hats for your business as well? Kizzy DS asks, how about if the machine needs service? How long is the warranty? So the warranty is a limited warranty for 5 years. It's 1 year of parts and labor, 3 years of electronics, so your boards, control panel, things of that nature, the very expensive stuff, and then 5 years on the drivetrain components like your motors, gears, shafts, things that drive the machine, from a kind of a electronic and mechanical standpoint. So that's kind of the 5-year warranty breakdown. Parts and labor for 1 year, as I mentioned. That's when you can really have everything covered, both on parts as well as the labor to service the machine if needed. Typically, what we try to do is first FaceTime you or video conference you so that we understand kind of what the situation is. And many times, 95% of the time, things can be resolved over the phone or over video conference. So without having to have a tech there, because obviously it takes scheduling and travel and all that stuff, and you can get back up to speed much faster with a video conference. And then if it can't be resolved, or it's too technical or too advanced, then we send out a tech to go ahead and fix the issue. And we also have techs all over the country that covers different regions, so that's not a problem at all. All right, got about another 5 minutes left. Okay. Kizzy also asks, is the promotion still going? Yep, it's the last phase, so it ends at the end of this month. So make sure you get in on that before it completely goes away. Okay. Sogo Lee asked on YouTube, when a design has 12 color stops or color change, is it better to place the spools in the middle so the head doesn't travel a lot, or it doesn't matter? Great question, and one that I've talked about in some of my videos on YouTube on kind of maximizing your efficiency, right? So when you have a lot of color stops and a lot of color changes, it is definitely helpful to keep the color spools not necessarily in the middle, but close to each other, right? They can be in the middle, they can be to the side, or whatever the case is, but they need to be close to each other for a particular job, especially when you're running kind of hundreds of pieces, right? That little bits of color changes, they add up over time. And so if you have if your color has a lot of color changes, let's just say even if it's just two colors, right, but it has a lot of color changes, say it's like red and white, but you have a lot of color changes and you have like 12 or 13 color changes back and forth. Imagine if you have one color on needle number 1 and another one on needle number 15. You'll be changing just moving the head from one needle to another over and over again. That's going to cost you 4 or 5 seconds at a time, and then increase your production time by minutes, if not hours, over the course of the entire order, right? So it definitely kind of, that's an extreme case of like needle 1 and 15, but the closer you can have in proximity for all those threads and spools, the better it is for color change time. And if you can shave off a couple of seconds, 4 or 5 seconds here and there, I mean, every color change you shave off 4 or 5 seconds, over 12 color changes, that's a minute, right? That's close to a minute of time saved on that one piece, and then multiply that by 1 dozen or 2 dozen pieces. You're saving yourself like half an hour worth of time by just saving a couple of precious seconds each time. So that's definitely something that you should do, and something that we definitely cover in some of our videos on how to maximize your efficiency as one of the tips to do exactly that. Das Ubtre TV asks, are you guys going to teach the process of adding PVC patches to garments using 1501 and the MT 1501? Great question. I haven't seen any PVC patches, but note for Willie to probably do on the next video or an upcoming video. We do have some pretty exciting content for you guys coming up, in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm sure those that are on our YouTube channel right now, asking questions, probably have already subscribed to our channel. But if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. If you're on Facebook, head on over to YouTube and subscribe, because there's a ton of content on there if you haven't done so already. And we post about 3 videos a week, plus a bunch of like YouTube shorts for like quick tips and stuff. So it's always good to stay up to date on the latest of what's going on. Okay, all right. I'll answer kind of another maybe 2 to 3 questions, and then we'll kind of wrap up with the giveaway, kind of re-announcing some of the promos that we have, and then wrap up everything that we have for today. So another 2 to 3 questions. Let me see here. So this is an interesting question from someone. I don't know your name because it's in a different language, but someone said, Henry, with all the knowledge you have now, what will you tell your younger self when first starting out? Yeah, I mean, I think about that quite often actually, and I wish I knew what I know today, like 10, 20 years ago. Like that would be great. But that's just not how life works, I guess. But what I would go back, if I had a time machine, I go back and I tell my younger self what I know today. One, I think in your 20s is really when I wish I would have known this earlier and have been even more active in doing this. But I think in your 20s, it's really when you can try out a bunch of things and be okay to fail. You don't have to have everything figured out in your, by the time you're 22 or whatever the case is, right? Like a lot of people don't have that figured out, and that's completely okay. I think if I were to go back and tell myself, I would have told myself, like, just try as many things that you're interested in as possible, and then find your passion sooner, right? Because if you think you have it figured out, or there's a certain path that you're kind of expected to go on, whether it's becoming a doctor or going to law school or whatever the case is, right? Like that's if you have kind of what is expected of you versus kind of what you're actually interested in, it might actually delay you in later years when you kind of find out the same thing. It's like, okay, I'm not interested in what I'm doing, so I'm gonna have to find a career change, and actually be passionate about what I do, whether that's starting a business or whatever that case might be, right? But finding that out sooner rather than later is going to benefit you in the long run. And if I were to go back and tell myself, I would have been like, hey, just try out all these different things and all these different hobbies and things that might interest you, and then therefore you can kind of know what you're not interested in much faster than to kind of like try if you spend the better half of your 20s trying to do something that's expected of you, probably you end up finding out in your late 20s that, oh, that's not something that I want to do, and you're kind of much later in the game. That being said, in your 20s and even 30s, even your 40s, it's not too late to ever start. But I'm saying that, like, had I known that earlier, I would have probably been much more ahead of the curve, and been much more prepared, knowing what I know today, right? So that's one thing that I would definitely say, to just sprint and try out as many things as possible and try to find your passion earlier in life than later. It's not to say that it's too late, but it's obviously you gain so much more once you have found what you're truly interested in, and day in and day out, and you kind of head towards that, and you're kind of involved and very involved in that process. You just get, your expertise just gets much deeper, right? Because like what you mentioned about me having all this knowledge that I have now, like that wouldn't have been the case had I tried still like 100 different things and not figured out what I wanted to do. But if you kind of dive into one vertical and you kind of just get really good at, you become an expert in one thing, it's better than being kind of a half expert in like 100 different things, right? Like it's much, when you have that industry knowledge and the industry expertise, that will help you kind of scale your business further, or kind of get to where you want to be in life or in business much faster when you kind of have that domain knowledge and that domain expertise, rather than just on a surface level. But it takes kind of like knocking out all the surface level stuff and kind of weeding all that out to focus on something that you really want to focus on, and then you kind of really dive deep and learn everything you possibly can about that particular thing that you're interested in. So I hope that helps. That's an interesting question. I've never gotten that before. And then later on, you said, "I hope he will answer it." So I did. I did answer that. So thank you for that question. Okay. Brian Welsh hands. Is there a type of hat or a brand you would recommend for beginners? I mean, probably the dad hats. I would say the unstructured. I would go with, if you're picking as a beginner, unstructured versus structured, I would start with unstructured, because it's easier to kind of less needle breaks and less issues, if as long as you and unstructured caps can help you learn your hooping process, because they need to be hooped tightly in order to not lose registration, but they're gonna give you less needle breaks, right? So the dad hats is probably the good way to start. Okay, all right. Before we kind of announce the winner of the giveaway, I wanted to quickly recap some of the promos that we have going on. I hope I was able to get through most of the questions. If I didn't, I do apologize. There's just so many comments coming in, but I'm pretty sure my team has always been very active in answering some of those questions. If you haven't heard a direct answer from me, but you can also watch the recording if you kind of missed this in the beginning. You can watch the recording once we post this and go back and see if you have any other questions that might have been answered by other people. All right, so before we kind of go into the announcement for the giveaway winner, I wanted to quickly recap some of the things that we talked about in the beginning of all the promos that we have going on. As I mentioned, we do have a Black November sale going on. It is in the last phase, in phase 3. We already ended phase 1 and phase 2. For those of you that missed it, that's when you got the biggest savings. But it's not too late to go on phase 3 and still get some good savings versus having nothing when phase 3 is over. This is indeed the last phase of the Black November sale, so we do have that going on for our embroidery machines, our DTG printers, and our white toner transfer printers with the Luminaris 200 white toner transfer printer. For the embroidery machines, just a quick breakdown of what the offer is. The last minute savings for this third phase will be payments as low as $130 per month on our embroidery machines, 0% financing, and free shipping as well for any machine, saving you upwards of $1,500, especially the larger machines you buy. The more you're obviously able to save because they cost more to ship. And you also get free Ricoma Inspire, free digitizing software, the entry level of Ricoma Inspire, a $600 value included in your purchase as well. And you get free shipping along with that, which can easily be upwards of $700 to $800 for a single head machine. All right, so that's for embroidery. On the DTG printers, we do have our Ricoh RI1000 and RI2000 going on right now. We have those, and for the RI1000, it is, I believe, $235 per month on the RI1000. The RI2000, I think is a little bit more. I think like $277 per month on the RI2000. You also have a small down payment that you have to pay for the RI2000. It is a more expensive machine, but obviously you get the faster speeds, as I mentioned, the 2 carriage systems that I mentioned, and the ability to print faster, especially with a dedicated white ink print head. Okay. You also get free shipping upwards of $800 in value for shipping of those machines. You get a free heat press along with your package. That can be upwards of $900 in value. And you get an extra set of CMYK and white ink cartridges. Okay, you get an extra set of CMYK, so you get an extra bundle of supplies that can help you print in the future. So you don't have to order that if you run out of the first set that comes with your machine. You get an extra set that can keep you going, especially through this holiday season when you might get more orders than usual. Last but not least, we do have the Luminaris 200 white toner transfer printer. That one is as low as $76 per month without 0% financing and free shipping as well. So saving you upwards of a couple $100 there on the shipping of that printer and the bundle there. You also get a free heat press along with that white toner transfer bundle, so that you would need a heat press because you gotta have a heat press to transfer the designs that are printed from that machine. And you get the paper as well. You get the paper and the supplies so that you have everything you need to get started in this business. So whether you're looking for embroidery, for direct-to-garment printing, or for white toner transfer printing, we have something for everyone here. And, we do hope that you take advantage of these promos. They do end at the end of the month, so I want to make sure that you are well aware of the savings that are going on. This is the last phase of the Black November sale. We had it since the beginning of the month, and hundreds, if not close to 1,000 people have already taken advantage of those promos, and this is the last phase to get in before all the savings go away. All right, so with that said, the other thing I wanted to mention about the flash sale, if you don't know what's going on there, I did mention in the beginning we do have a flash sale going on for all of our accessories and software and different add-ons like heat presses and vinyl cutters and sewing machines. Do check that out on our shop.ricoma.com and use the code RIC10 for 10% off heat presses, vinyl cutters, and sewing machines, or RIC20 for chroma upgrades and other embroidery accessories that are manufactured by Ricoma, such as the robot frame, the belt hoop, and the 8-in-1 device. All right, those things can definitely help you in your embroidery business to do different things or to speed up things for you. And the chroma upgrade, 20% off chroma upgrades. If you're looking to upgrade to Plus or even Lux, you get 20% off using the code RIC20. All right, and RIC10 for heat presses, vinyl cutters, and sewing machines for 10% off all of those items. It's for 24 hours only, so take advantage of that before it goes away. It will end at 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, all right, before Thanksgiving. So take advantage of that. We had one in the earlier in the month, and it lasted for 24 hours. Some people missed out. Don't miss out again this time for this flash sale for 10 or 20% off the things on our store. All right. Okay. So with that all being said, I did mention that we do have the giveaway for the all-in-one hooper. We have the all-in-one hooper is great for you if you're looking to hoop consistently on different items, whether it's polo shirts, t-shirts, jackets, things of that nature. You can use it with different hoops that you have. It's over an $850 value, and one lucky winner will take home the all-in-one hooper. So before we announce the winner, let's kind of give a quick drum roll. All right, and our winner for the all-in-one hooper complete unit is going to be Angela C. Angela C is our winner for the all-in-one hooper. Congrats to Angela. Thank you so much for joining this live stream, whether you're joining us from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Angela C, you are the lucky winner of the all-in-one hooper. We'll kind of get in touch with you and make sure that you get that shipped out to you from our sponsor. And and for those of you that didn't win, make sure to tune in next time for another chance to win another giveaway. But more than that, I do believe that even if you didn't win the actual prize and the giveaway, I hope that you got a lot of value out of this conversation, because at the end of the day, I do believe that the value that you receive from these live Q&As should be worth a lot more when you implement it correctly in your business to grow and scale your business even further, so that you can even afford to buy the any giveaways that we offer here. So that's really the kind of mission and the goal that we try to have here at Ricoma, is to really help our customers find success in their business, right? Because not only are we manufacturing the equipment and selling you the equipment, I think what we're really kind of offering is a set of solutions and tools and guidance to make sure that you are well on your way to finding success in the apparel decoration space. That's our mission. That's always been our goal and our vision, beyond just being a machine manufacturer and selling you a machine. We're really a community of people that are looking to teach each other and to find success in implementing these strategies and tools into your business. So I hope you found that helpful. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll kind of tune back in next month for our last Q&A and live stream of the year, but we were able to do 2 for the month of November, and hopefully you were able to join one or the other for the month of November, or both. I really appreciate you guys joining, and hopefully I was able to answer a lot of questions. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in next month. Take care.